Russ. Yeah, I'm back on the road. But as you know, I haven't really left the road because this is really just a continuation of the last video I did. So the last video we talked a little bit about YouTube and my experience with going to the bank to setting up an account, and how the bank manager and the lady who helped me was interested in YouTube. And so today, as we're continuing the ride, I am still somewhere out, I believe in Arlington Heights, just wandering the neighborhoods. I've been throttling most of the time. Yeah, you know, sometimes emails and texts and everything come in, notifications kick in. Yeah, I've been just riding around the neighborhoods and talking, not knowing where I am, but this is how you kind of explore different areas, right? I think if I didn't have GPS abilities, I wouldn't be doing this. I get turned around and lost really quick. I'm not one to know where anything is, or find myself heading back to areas that thinking I know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm going. So that girl is riding in the wrong direction. Now, people sometimes do that. They figure this way they can see traffic coming towards them. But from all I've read, they said that is the most dangerous way to ride your bike, because the impact is greater if you get hit. Because your force going forward, their force going towards you, that's like a double impact. Versus getting hit from behind, that actually is less of an impact, from what they say. I've not been hit by a car yet, so I don't really know. But legally speaking, she's riding in the wrong direction. Now, I've heard that runners will oftentimes run in the opposite direction. I think that's a different story. I think they're allowed to run in the opposite direction. So just like if I'm here on this right-hand side of the road, they can run from this side running towards me. Okay, so I think in that sense, sorry, I had to get a drink of water. I'm so dried out. In that sense, it's okay, I think, to do that. But I think they said in terms of bicycles and the like, I don't think we can legally do that. Oh, people have been telling me too, ride on the sidewalks, it's safer. I know it's safer, but I can't do it. By law, I cannot do it. Now here's a funny thing, okay? I think this is really kind of funny, as I'm reading these comments about stay safe, ride up on the sidewalks. There's nobody on the sidewalks, just do it. Other people complain to me about how fast I go, that I skip stopping at stop signs and everything, and that I'm breaking the law. And yet, they tell me to break the law and jump up on the sidewalks. I know you guys don't know that that's not legal for me, but you're trying to keep me safe. I appreciate it. But I have to kind of laugh a little bit because, on the one side, and it's not you guys, I know it's not you guys, but it's the other people. Some of these people are telling me you're doing it wrong, and then other people are saying do it wrong purposely to stay safe. So yeah, there's two sides of everything, right? Some are trying to keep me safe, others are trying to get me to stop riding. Can't win. Yeah, okay. Even a regular bike is not allowed on the sidewalks here in my area, unless your local ordinance allows you. But the overall state of Illinois, we're not allowed to ride on the sidewalks. Can you imagine what it would look like with this big, large bike on the sidewalk coming down, and there's people that happen to be on the sidewalk? You know, you can imagine what people would say then. You know, get that lousy e-bike off of our sidewalks. You know, I could just hear it. All right, we're not gonna cross this street either, I don't think. Yeah, we're gonna have to turn around. I don't. By the way, that's the metro train that we see in front of us there. That goes downtown. Yeah, like I said, I hop off the bike and then I just turn myself around. I don't do U-turns on this bike. It's too hard to do it. So yeah, between yesterday and today, I've been mostly throttling just so that I can talk and not think about pedaling. I had mentioned before in the past, I don't really use my bike for exercise purposes to lose weight or anything like that. And I think most of you guys have come from that one video that I did concerning senior riders. And I mentioned too that if you're buying an e-bike trying to lose weight, well, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I get a lot of flack from that comment because some of you have lost weight. I realize that is true. But I'm just saying that if you ride your bike the way I do, and you throttle a lot and you use a higher pedal assist level and all that, the chances of you losing weight is slim. Hey, that was a good pun, huh? Yeah, it's not going to happen. Here's how you lose weight, okay? You drop that pedal assist down to 1 or 0, all right? Now you pedal and you use your gears, okay? I'm going to lower my gears here a little bit here, which I usually don't go this low on the gear, as you know. Okay? See how slow I'm going? Yeah, we're going to lose weight like crazy at this point because we're doing like 7 miles an hour. What am I on? Gear number 4, something like that. Pedal assist level 1. I can't even keep this thing straight. You can see I'm struggling to try to keep it vertical here. Yeah, you're going to lose weight like crazy. But I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. But I didn't buy an e-bike to go 6 or 7 miles an hour. Okay, I didn't do it for that. I did it to help me move along and get places. So in that sense, will you lose weight based on the way I ride? No, you're never gonna lose weight. Not the way I ride. But again, I never bought this bike to lose weight. I bought it to help rehab my knee. Not this bike, it was the Rad Rover 5. This is the Magicycle Cruiser. I wanted to keep my knees moving, which I'm doing right now, okay? But I'm not pedaling hard. I mean, I'm not pushing hard forces down on the pedal to make it move. So it's just keeping movement is all I'm doing. It's not actually exercise in the sense of using it to lose weight. So I would say in that case, yeah, you won't lose weight. You've got to do more than the way I ride. So people ask, why don't you do it? Kind of hard after a knee replacement, quite frankly. I can't even walk up and down the stairs without some additional help. I actually still use my cane when I go up and down stairs. All right, the car let me through, so I took it. I can get up and down stairs, but I don't have as much strength. And you know, you have things to help you, right? You got handrails and things, but having a handrail on one side and a cane on the other to help push up makes it a lot easier. I can get up and down the stairs faster that way. Okay. Yeah, these are some new homes. Wow, look at this one. Let's angle a little bit here. Yeah, there's some nice looking houses out here. So anyways, so yeah, I don't use it for that purpose for my bike, and I do need to use a cane to get up and down stairs faster. I mean, if I didn't have it, could I do it? Yeah, I could do it. But you know, like I said, my knee isn't perfect yet. It's been 3 years. I don't think it'll ever get perfect, to tell you the truth. It is what it is. So And this is why sometimes you'll see that, sometimes I get a little bit upset when I hear people say things to me like cheater or, you're not allowed on this road with that bike and all that kind of thing. I know they don't know. They don't know I had a knee replacement. They don't know that I actually kind of need this e-bike to even be on a bike, all right? Because I couldn't ride a regular bike. Well, I could, but, I won't be going anywhere far. I'll be going a couple of blocks and I'll have to come back home. So in that sense, I kind of need the bike to be able to go places, to go some distance. This is why range is as important for me. I want to be able to use the bike to get around, they're not for errands or anything like that. It's just to get from place to place. I like having some range. And I tend to ride kind of fast. I don't ride slow. Okay, I know where we are now. We're back on Palatine Road, I guess. Let's go this way. Palatine Road is cut off into two sections. There's a fast section, which is to our left, and then there's a slower section, which is what we're on right now. We're kind of on a protected section right here. Well, not protected, but you're not on the main busy street. Alright, well, we'll take a right. We usually come down this road when we head to Bussy Woods and when we head to the Prospect Heights Trail. So yeah, I know where I am. Still, I don't normally ride the neighborhoods. I just get from point A to point B going through the neighborhood, but I don't know the neighborhoods well at all over here. So that's what we've been riding. I knew we were in a general area. I just didn't know we were this close to that. So yeah, that rolling stop is necessary if you don't want to hop off the bike. You slow down as much as you can, then you continue on. Because anything slower, you're gonna topple. So you have to hop off the bike then. Oh, here's an interesting question somebody asked. They asked, what kind of bike I would recommend for them. Because they were a shorter rider. So as a woman, I think she was like 5'1", maybe something like that. And she had been looking at bikes that claimed that they were good for people like 5'2" or 5'3" and higher, like the Red Rover 6 Plus. And I kind of looked at that and I go, really? Okay, they might claim that for the step-thru version, right? But I'm going to tell you something. That Rover 6 Plus step-thru is still a huge bike. It's as big as this thing, okay? This is the Magicycle mid-step version. It's as big as this bike. The only reason they claim that it can go higher or go for someone who is a little shorter is because they don't have a top bar there. But the physical size of the bike is still as big as this bike. Which means when you first look at it, you're going to go, this is a lot larger than I thought. And this is why we see a lot of people will return the bike after they buy it. They don't usually return it. They usually end up selling it, I should say. You're talking bikes that only have like 5 miles on it or 10 miles on it, and then they say, I cannot handle this bike. So I just mentioned to her that there's other models coming. Like for instance, if she were to buy, instead of a 26-inch wheel bike like the Red Rover 6 Plus, to buy a 20-inch wheel bike, the overall frame will feel smaller. Now, it's not like you can't ride that bike if you're taller, because these 20-inch wheel bikes, a lot of them are folding bikes, not all of them. Like the new Ocelot Pro from Magicycle is a 20-inch wheel bike, but it's not foldable. Okay. And I have another bike coming in from another manufacturer too, that is a 20-inch bike that is not foldable. So there's options with smaller wheel bikes. And if you go with the smaller wheel bikes, the frame will also look smaller. Typically what they do is they have handlebars that go higher, okay, to make up the difference. But the frame itself will seem smaller to you. So my recommendation to her was look at some of those bikes. And so I think somebody else chimed in as well and said the 20-inch wheel bikes might be better suited for you based on your physical height and size. I agreed with him. I said that makes most sense, is to go with the 20-inch wheel size. Now, I have a couple of these bikes coming in for review. I don't know why the companies have these bikes coming out so late in the year, to tell you the truth. You know, even Magicycle's got 3 models coming out. Well, 4 if you consider the Pro version of this Magicycle Cruiser. But that's really just a rework of this bike, okay? But the 3 other models coming out in July and August, well, they claimed August, but I think they revised their website to say early September for the Ocelot Pro. Sorry, it's really noisy here. I'm going to talk after we pass this area. They're cutting the concrete. So obviously that's going to be noisy. All right, let's turn here. Let's get out of this area. So yeah, I wonder why the companies, waited to like middle to almost end of summer to release a bike. Because really the main riding season would be, I would say, maybe end of spring, maybe April, something like that. I would tend to think, I mean, I don't know their business, I don't really know, but I would tend to think if you came out with a bike in April, you'd have a lot better chance of selling more bikes because people are buying bikes to ride for the summer months and things. Why wait till September to release a bike, I mean, production schedules and stuff, I know there's things like that, but as a consumer, now I'm talking as a consumer, I would tend to think you'd sell more if you came out with it earlier. I mean, even for me, I noticed that, a lot of people ordered rad power bikes using my affiliate link. And let me give you a shameless plug again. If you want to buy a bike or anything else, take a look at the description of any of my e-bike videos because I have discount codes for you there. And when you do that, I get a small commission, right? So I noticed that right around April, maybe March, April timeframe, a lot of people were buying rad power bikes using my affiliate link. So that's why I kind of think, if I was a bike manufacturer, I would want to release my bikes around March or April. Have those bikes available for people so that they will be riding it during the end of spring, beginning of summer. They get more riding time. I mean, especially if you're like a guy like me that lives in the Midwest, we have a limited time of ride. We can't ride 24/7, 365 days a week. We gotta ride when we can ride. And winter time, oftentimes we don't ride. Where are we here? What is this street? Oh, I see. Okay. We're back on Thomas. All right. Let's take it. We'll head back. So anyways, I'm not a manufacturer. I don't know why these things happen, but that's my thought. It's like that's how I would do it. Come out earlier in the year. So anyways, all these review bikes are coming in. They're all going to be coming in July, August, September time frame. And So I can't tell you too much about what else is coming. I could mention Magicycle because they've already told me that they're sending me the 3 bikes. So I'm expecting to see the new commuter bike. That's going to be an interesting one to review. I don't know if I will like it or not. I hope I do. I mean, I'm sure they hope I do too. And so that's coming in. The folding bike, the Jaguar Rundy. That's a long name, Magicycle. I don't know how you pick these names. Jaguar Rundy. I mean, if it was called a Jaguar, it'd be another story. But a Jaguar Rundy is, again, another cat. Smaller cat, I guess. That's coming in. And then the Ocelot Pro, that's coming in. Because they told me that they will be sending me one of each of those. I'm excited to get them, quite frankly. I can't wait to get them. But then there's another bike that's coming in too that I accepted to do a review for. I cannot tell you what it is. All I can tell you is that it's another 20-inch wheel bike. Now the commuter bike has a larger wheel. The Ocelot Pro is a 20-inch wheel. The Jaguar Rundy, which is the folding bike from Magicycle, that's a 20-inch wheel. So I've got 3 20-inch wheel bikes coming. So I hope I like the 20-inch wheels because they're all coming in. I mean, my wife has the Rad Mini Step-thru 2, which is a 20-inch wheel folding bike. I've only ridden it once, just to make sure that the bike was safe for her. So I got on it and rode it. I didn't actually ride it. I throttled it. I had the seat adjusted for her size. I didn't want to mess with it. So I just hopped on it and throttled it just to make sure that the bike would function and run safely. But yeah, I was able to ride it. It's not like I couldn't. I just couldn't pedal it. My legs were too long. She's about 5'4". I'm about 5'10". So I see up ahead there's a bike rider coming towards us, and he's got flashing headlight just like I do. And I was able to see him from a distance, so that is why we have flashing lights on. Alright, so we're going to take a left here. Yeah, having the flashing headlights on pays off. You can see them from a distance. That's safer for oncoming traffic to see you that way. So even though some of the bikes have headlights, they're usually not as strong as an external headlight. Like for instance, Magicycle has a headlight. Then they got this one. I disconnected the red Magicycle front headlight. I never use it anyways. It would stick out of the front basket area. I said, you know what? I never even use it. I'm taking it off. So I disconnected it. And then I always use this thing, which Magicycle sent to me. You can see it's a flashing front headlight. It's a lot more powerful. And then I also have a rear tail light, which of course is still connected to the bike. But I have an external blinking tail light as well, which is more powerful. So yeah, anything that you can do to get more visibility is a good thing. I always wear, I don't know if you see in the mirrors here, you can see I'm wearing a yellow vest, safety vest, because that's more visibility. I used to always think whenever I saw other people have it, You know, I would say, look at these guys with these vests and stuff like that. But I wear it too now that I'm back out on bike. Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't wear all this stuff. I wore a helmet, but now when I was a kid, I wore a helmet when I was, I think, probably when I was in my mid-20s through maybe mid-30s, something like that. I wore a helmet. But prior to that, you know, we didn't have helmets. They weren't really part of the things that kids wore. You know, we took our chances, I guess, right? Back then. It wasn't a thing. But now that it is a thing, you should be wearing your helmet. All right, I'm gonna go back. I turned myself around as I'm talking. I'm not paying attention again. So, yeah, review bikes are coming. Different sizes are coming. There's also one special item coming that I cannot talk about yet. There's things that I have that I cannot talk about, which is really kind of tough. I want to tell you guys what have coming in, right? But I can't say anything. People sometimes make comments, you know, why don't you consider this? Why don't you consider that? Yeah, I'd consider it if they said it to me. I think I'm supposed to turn there. Yep, I was supposed to turn there. Let's turn around. Yeah, I'm heading back in the way typically my map would have told me, but I'm not using the map, so I'm just kind of going based on memory, which is always terrible, of course. And my sense of direction is terrible also, so. So anyways, where was I? already losing my memory already. Is this the street or not the street? I don't know. Let's go straight. So yeah, I'd like to tell you stuff, but I can't tell you. Some of it is contractual, some of it is just not good timing to let you know yet what's coming. Yeah, I should have turned there. I'm looking around. I know you guys could only see the forward direction. I'm looking around going, yeah, I should have turned there. We'll turn here. Does this cut through? Nope, this doesn't cut through either. Maybe that's why you're supposed to turn there. All right. Well, we're seeing the neighborhoods again, right? Now you might be wondering how I'm riding. I'm like in the middle of the street. There's nobody around me. Come on. If I'm not off to one side, okay, you're supposed to be like way over here. I'm like in the middle of the road. Don't worry about it, people. This is side streets, okay? This is not major roads. There's nobody around. I think all of us who live out in the suburbs, we all kind of do stuff like this. We don't seem to worry too much of the fact that we're right in the middle of the road while we're riding. We're not off to the side because there's no cars. And even if there were cars, they're kind of used to us doing stuff like that. Cars are accommodating to us as we do things like that. All right, do we turn here? Let's see if that is. Yep, I think this was it. So yeah, we do some weird things out in the suburbs. We okay, you should be like over here on this side of the road. And sometimes you'll find we'll be riding like here in the middle of the road. All right, it's okay. All right, even the police see us do it. They accept it, and then when we finally notice there's a car behind us, we'll move over. You know, we'll move back over here. It's okay. Yeah, you gotta have some flexibility. You You know, and that's the one thing that's a little bit different, maybe being here in the suburbs versus like if I was in the heart of Chicago, the city of Chicago itself, you can't get away with that. There's no way you can get away with that. The streets aren't as wide sometimes, and cars won't let you get away with that. But out here in the suburbs, no, happens all the time. Everybody does it. Not to saying that that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that's what everybody does. Oh, somebody asked me too, rather than using hand signals, have I ever considered putting turn signals on the bike? Yeah, I considered it. But then I also realized too that in bright sunlight, it would be hard to see the turn signal. Cars aren't used to looking for a turn signal on a bike. They might not notice that you're trying to turn, and if you only rely on that turn signal, and then you make that turn, the car might still run you over because they didn't realize you planned to turn. So on the long run, ultimately, it was still safer, I think, to just use hand signals. Problem with hand signals, though, is when you're sticking your arm out, you can't squeeze the brake as you're stopping, getting ready to make the turn, right? There's a problem there. So, yeah, you can't win either way. Let's talk about speed, since that's always been a constant comment in the comments, like going too fast, going too slow, going whatever. I just looked down on my speedometer, and I guess I was doing 19 miles an hour. You know how slow 19 miles an hour feels like? After a while, it doesn't feel that fast. Okay, we're almost about 18 roughly now. It really doesn't feel that fast if you're used to riding these big bikes. It feels like just normal. I think this is why my normal speed is at least 18 miles an hour or faster. Okay, I'm gonna take a right here. And let the people walk by. So I'm usually doing at least 18 miles an hour or faster. Now, these paths, of course, there's nothing on the path that tells me how fast I should go. But this is about roughly 15 miles an hour right now. Yeah, I feel like I'm barely moving. Now, you guys in the UK, okay? I really appreciate hearing from you guys. I just got a message from one of you guys in the UK, and then many of you guys mentioned to us too that you're legally limited to 15 miles an hour. I think that's your assist levels are up to 15. I mean, I think you can probably go faster, right? I think you can probably go faster than this speed, but assisted, I think you could only do 15, something like that. And it was mentioned that your roads are more difficult in the sense that there's hills all over the place, and a lot of times it may not be, fully paved and all that. Morning. So, yeah, we're kind of lucky out here. We do actually have paved bicycle paths like this one to go on, and even the streets are pretty wide open, at least where I am. Not everybody in the U.S. is like this, okay? I'm pretty lucky. And this is really all I know. Well, okay, that's not true. I used to live in San Diego too. Morning. And it's a little different out there compared to here, but still we had, I think I was riding Lake Miramar. If you guys are in San Diego, riding around Lake Miramar, and I don't know how far that was, 3 or 5 miles in a circle around the lake, something like that. I bought a bike and I was biking it. I couldn't do more than really like once around it before I was tiring out already. I had knee problems back then and didn't even know it. So I think I tore my meniscuses when I was maybe 15 years old, 16 years old. I never knew it. I just always wondered why my knees always hurt. Anyways, so you guys in the UK, yeah, you're doing 15 miles an hour, or maybe a little faster sometimes if you're under your own power, I think. And then you watch me, and I'm doing 18 to 24. So yeah, we're lucky. Feel for you guys, because 15 really feels kind of slow to me. Well, see, I'm already at 17. Let me drop back down to 15. I'm just throttling and trying to get that level. Morning. So it's difficult to maintain, but it really feels slow to me after the fact, I'm used to a faster pace, so 15 does feel slow. 14, around 14 right now. Morning. I guess you could get used to it, but I tell you, it's hard to keep your balance on a big fat tire bike when you're going too slow. So because it's more difficult, you tend to go a little faster. And after a while, you kind of get used to the speed, and it becomes the norm for you. I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or the last video that I don't really use my bike for exercise purposes. I use it for rehab purposes. Keep my knees moving, but not necessarily pedaling hard to get an exercise out of it. I mean, I guess you could, but because my knee is a replaced knee and it doesn't got this kind of strength that you have, a lot of times you'll see that I'll pedal and I'll throttle and I'll throttle and I'll pedal and then I'll throttle and not even pedal. It's just the way I can ride. It's the only way I can do it. And of course, comments come in and asking me why I ride the way I do. It's just the way my body functions. It doesn't function like yours. So, am I a lousy rider? Well, yeah, as a pedaler, I'm a lousy pedaler. Okay, here, I'll pedal. You can see it in the shadows. I just watch a shadow in the front. But a lot of times you will see it looks like this, where I'm not pedaling at all. I'm just using the throttle, okay? So, yeah, just know that I do what I can do. That's about all I can do. Alrighty. Let's go this way. So, what else is new? Well, yeah, I mentioned in the last video, I'm running out of space. I'm planning on selling off the Rad Rover 5 if my battery that Magicycle is sending me gives me enough range to make it at least 55 miles, at least, maybe 60 miles. If I can get at least 60 miles out of it between the two batteries, I will sell off the Rad Rover 5. Yeah, that bike is kind of a duplication for me to this bike here, which is the Magicycle Cruiser. Admittedly, it doesn't have the pep as the Magicycle Cruiser, but I'll sell it at a decent price, make it worth your while if you're interested in that bike. And you have to be local, you have to be in the Chicago area, and you have to pick it up. I cannot ship that bike. So local guys, or if you have friends, local guys that are watching Russ's Ride, if you have friends that are looking for a larger bike, you know, all sales final. I can't take it back if you take it. That might be a good bike for somebody. But it was my first bike. It's what got me started on everything. But new bikes are coming, and space is limited. I don't have any space anymore. I'm running out of places to put these things. So at least one of them has to go, and I think that will be the one that will have to go. It's been modified, as I mentioned in the last video. If you haven't watched the video, go and watch yesterday's video. It'll describe a little bit more about it. And yeah, I'll send you more information if you contact me on the email. Okay, don't put it on the comments. Send me an email at contactrussisride@gmail.com. Make sure the word contact is in there, because if you send it to russisride@gmail.com, it's going to another person. All right. I think that guy must feel bad having that email address because all my knee replacement viewers were sending him pictures of their knees. He was wondering why he was getting all these knee photos from people. Yep. Sorry to that guy, but your email address is like my email address, so what can I say? Alrighty. Well, I think... yeah, that was a stop sign. Hey, I tried. I do hear little clicking sounds. Do you guys hear that? That's from my front brake. You know, I modified the brakes with the full hydraulic brake option from Tektro. I do hear little clicking sounds. Somebody said it's probably the brake pads are not perfectly set up to the rotor. That's possible. It doesn't really affect it. It just, you hear it. But I'm telling you that the full hydraulic brakes are definitely better than any of the other brakes I've had. You know, the Rad Rover 5 that I have that I'm selling has hydraulic brake calipers, but it is still a cabled system. More powerful than a standard mechanical brake. Less hassles as far as constantly adjustment, because you don't have to constantly adjust it, which is a definite plus, but not as powerful as a full hydraulic system. Anyways, I think we've done enough today. I'm looking at my battery levels here. I'm at 29%. I still have a little bit more battery power, but it's getting warmer right now. I came out early yesterday's ride and today's ride, which of course is all one day for me, but 2 days for you. I came out early in the morning just to avoid the heat that will happen later. And I try to get at least a ride in at least every other day if I don't get one every day. But sometimes I get tied up, and then by the time I'm ready to go out, it's just too hot. You know, if I'm not enjoying the ride, I don't want to be on the bike, quite frankly. I don't know how you guys are. Do you guys go out there and just suffer? I don't do that. The weather has to be a certain weather for me to enjoy it, and typically that's in the 70. I would give it up to 80. I wouldn't go that much higher than that. If it's more than that, I really don't have any fun riding. Oops, sorry. That was a semi-stop. Sorry about that. Now these side streets, okay, there's very little cars on them anyways, and so I think we all just kind of get used to just blowing through stop signs. I mean, almost every bike rider blows through stop signs here. I do more stops than they do, quite frankly, at this point. And there's not a single video that goes by without me talking about stops. See how we're stuck on the whole topic of stops? I don't think that thing will ever go away. It's always ingrained in my brain now. I think I had more fun before the channel became bigger, because I had less people complaining about how I rode. Well, that's the thing with YouTube. You know, the better or bigger your channel gets, the more trolls you get. Like they say, you know, don't pay attention to the trolls. But it's very hard not to when they're criticizing you. You know, that's how I think people who turn here. People who are like celebrities. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but people who are celebrities get to the point where they start reading about their own things in the press because they know that it's more negative to them than positive, and it affects them. They just like, I don't enjoy reading it. I kind of understand that now. I never really did back then, but I kind of do now. I said, if I didn't read any of the comments, I think I'd be a happier person. Not that I don't like your comments. It's the trolls' comments that kind of get to you after a while. The legitimate comments, I love having that, and I love the interaction with everyone. Because as you know, I usually respond back to almost every single one. Not every one, but every single one that I can. And the troll comments really kind of get to you after a while, and the ones that you hear over and over. You know, the most common one is you don't stop at stop signs, and that's off of that senior video. And I don't think I'll ever get away from that thing, because these are new people who have never seen Russ is Right before. So their only experience is the one video, and they're saying what a lousy rider I am, and bad influence, all that type of stuff, because I don't stop at the stop signs. They don't realize that the one stop sign makes no sense at all. I've already mentioned that in previous videos, because it's only stopping one direction but not the other. But really, it should be stopping both directions if you think about it, because we still both cross through that same intersection, and that path goes to nowhere, left and right, that we cross through. It's gated. No cars go through there. Nobody comes through there. The only guy that goes through there is the guy that cuts the grass, and he does it probably once every month or something like that. So unless you're running into him during that one time during the month, you're not going to have anyone crossing through that intersection point. And so every single person I know that has ever ridden through there blows through that stop sign. What about the other stop sign? Well, yeah, that goes to the parking lot, and it's so wide open. If you can't see a car coming, you must be blind because it's so wide open that you can tell. So most people blast through that too, and we've seen that on one video where a couple guys were in front of me. They went right through that. That's usually how most of the people who ride there ride. So it's not just me, really. Not the saying that if one guy does it, everyone should do it, but that's the reality of it. It's nobody really stops at those things. But I know that people don't know that, and so all they see is what they see in that first video, and then I get criticized by it. By the way, that video, a little bit more, will be at 500,000 views. Yeah, 500,000 views on that one video on seniors. Isn't that crazy? Actually, you know, when they say a video goes viral, I looked up what does it mean when a video goes viral. I think you need like 1 million views, something like that, 1 million or more. So yeah, that's not even halfway there. What about my other videos? What is the most popular videos? See, I was gonna let you guys go, and I have more stuff to talk to you about. If you made it this far, let me know. I would say the second most popular video is the one that we did about 3 weeks or so ago, where the woman rode past me and said, I don't think motorized vehicles are allowed on this path, something like that. That is the #2 video already after only 3 weeks. And I think that's because that video seemed to resonated with a lot of people, whether positive or negative. Okay, the positive guys, I guess, how do you consider positive? Positive in favor of her or positive in favor of me? All right, let's look at it this way. Most of you guys have said that Russ is right. Russ is always right. Didn't I tell you guys that? Russ is right. he's legally allowed to ride on that bike path. And I stated too. I stated in the comment, not the comment, the description of the video. I show that the Cook County Forest Preserves encourages Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes to be on that path. And the bike that I was riding was the Rad Rover 5, which is a Class 2 e-bike. Now technically I could ride my Magicycle there too if I downgrade this thing down to the Class 2 version, which is what the bike comes with. It comes set up as a Class 2 bike because it's regulated to the 20 miles per hour. So I could ride the Magicycle there too. But then other people, they get all heated about it too, because they said, no, the woman is right because you are riding a motorized vehicle. And it says that no motorized vehicles are allowed on the path. Well, this is not a motorized vehicle. And then they, of course, jump all over us and say, well, can you not see your motor on your bike? Are you blind? I know there's a motor on the bike, but that's not the type of motorized vehicle they're talking about. The law in our area states that the motorized vehicles are the vehicles that are like gas motors. Okay, they're talking about gas motor scooters, motorcycles. They're talking about those type of motorized vehicles. All right, yeah, let's turn here. They're not talking about motorized vehicles like e-bikes, Class 1, Class 2 e-bikes. Class 3 e-bikes are not allowed on the path. Okay, now the Magicycle, if I had this set for 28 miles per hour, technically I should not be riding this bike on Bussy Woods. But if I downsize this thing to the Class 2 classification, I can. Class 2 being regulated to 20 miles per hour. And of course, since they can't jump on that, then they'll say, well, you're riding faster than 15 miles an hour, which is the stated thing. You're doing 18. Come on, people. 3 miles an hour. But yeah, they'll ding me on that. So yeah, those are some things that I just cannot get away from, because the more popular the video is, the more times it's viewed, the same comments will keep coming up. And this is why comments eventually start getting to you as a YouTuber, because you're always answering the same question over and over. In fact, sorry about that. My GoPro battery died. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.